to your website. You should all be able to see my screen right now. And what we want to go over is how to add images, how to resize them, how to align them, and adding things like caption and links and so on to them. So if we go back to our builder page that we're all familiar with now, and we're going to go to the About Us page. So on here, we want to drop in some images. So the first thing you're going to do is click on the page that you want to, or the content area that you want to drop in an image. So when I click on there, again, it turns solid blue. Now you have two choices here with images. You can have an image that's associated with text, meaning that the image will be placed on the page, then the text will wrap around it, or you can just have an image on its own area. So I'm going to run through those both real quick. So the first one, we just want to drop an image that's down below in here, not associated with any text. So we're just going to click down, hit enter a couple of times, and then to drop in an image, you go up to the little tree icon here, which adds your image and allows you to access your gallery. So you're going to click on it once, and it's going to drop in a default image folder. Double-click anywhere within this image, and it'll bring you to your image management settings window. I'll run through all these here shortly. I just kind of want to show you how to access images from your gallery. So under the default image field, you're going to click on the tree icon, and this will bring you to your gallery. Any images, files, videos, and so on are always stored within your file gallery for your account. Now you have two options. You can either select an existing image that's already been added to your gallery, or you can also add new files from your local computer. For example, I'm going to click on Add File, browse my computer. Now it's searching locally on my computer, so I'm going to select this image here. And then you have to certify that you have the rights to use the image, and then hit Add. And now what it's done is it sorts the images alphabetically, 12 per page. So you see it starts with the letter B, and the one I just uploaded started with an S. So there's sandwich image number 2. So I want to drop this image now onto our web page. So I hit select this file, and then submit. And now what it's done is it's dropped in an image here. So you save your work, and then you can view it in live mode, and you can see how your image looks. So now we've just showed you how to add an image to your page, but now comes the part of making the image look right in alignments and settings and stuff like that. Because right now this image is at a squared shape. It obviously looks disproportioned. So to update your settings, you double-click anywhere within the image, and it's going to bring you back to your window settings. Now the one thing you'll see here, the width and height is preset to 250 by 250. The reason being is we have to have an assigned value to the image when you initially drop it in. So if you don't know what the image size should be for your image, you can always go back into the gallery, and then you're going to go to the image you just added. And you'll see there's an edit this file down below each image. Now the edit this file, you'll see it does not show for PNG files, because PNG files are a transparent image that if you try to adjust outside of this program, it'll pixelate pretty bad. So that's one that you cannot edit this file. You'd have to resize it on an outside program such as Adobe Photoshop. But in our case, we're going to edit this file. It's going to bring you to our gallery. You'll see here it displays the image at its true proportion and its true dimensions compared to the, the squared look we had down here. From here you can either slide and adjust your image size, and you'll see it's now saying the width is 284, and then over here it does the proportions for you as well. So the width and height will be adjusted proportionally. As well, you can add drop shadows to your image by selecting this. You can add rounded corners. You can adjust the background color behind the image. You can rotate the image, flip vertically and horizontally, add borders. You can do all this through here. And then when you're done, you just rename your image. You'll see it automatically adds a numbered stamp after the original file name. This way it does not override your original image, but you could come in and call it whatever you want. So when you hit save, it now adds the new image here, image2_small. So when we want to find out the image size, you come back in here, so we notice it's 284 by 188. So we close this out, and we type in the new values. So now you'll see it's resized the image proportionally. To go back in, you can control how it displays on the page, its alignment, by double-clicking in and scrolling down and say we want this image to be centered. Now it centers the image. The other way, so this is how to add in an image just to have it free-floating on a page, but if we wanted an image to be associated with text, you need to first select a starting point. So in this case, we're going to drop in a picture that we want to be anchored off at the beginning of the first paragraph. So we're going to click just at the beginning of the paragraph. We're going to drop in the image again, and again I hit on the tree icon up here. And so I'm going to double click on this image. I'm going to go into my gallery, and I'm going to select an image over here called Sandwich Image 1. First I just want to look at the proportions of it again. And so I see, okay, it's 424. Let's say I just want to drop that down to 250. Let me cancel that out. Did that incorrectly. So we're going to go to edit this file, type in 250 up here, and then it brings me to the correct proportion. So 250 by 166. So I'm going to select this file. Okay, let me just start that again. Select this file. And I apologize, it just seems to have got stuck on that, so let me go back in now. Sometimes if it doesn't switch like that, you need to just save your work and then come back into here. Okay, let me come back into here. All right. We're going to go back to the sandwich image, and here I'm going to go 250 by 166, and then if I do alignment, say I want it to be aligned to the left, and hit submit, now you'll see that the image is aligned to the left, but the text is wrapping around it, but you'll see that there's some, there's no padding or distance between there. To control the padding, you double-click anywhere on the image, then you'll see there's areas for padding on the bottom, left, right, or top. Since we're dealing with the right side of the image, I generally do between 10 and 15 pixels of padding. So there's 10 pixels there, and I'll do 10 on the bottom just in case. So now if I hit submit, you'll see it's added padding to the image. And conversely, you can go in and double-click on an image and say, well, I want to see what it looks like on the right. You would just need to adjust the padding accordingly. So you see now you can have the image over to the right, and then the padding with the wording is set here. So now if we save our work and view it in live mode, you'll see there are two images. So we got the sandwich image that's wrapped around with text, and then we got a free-floating image down in here. The other things you can do with the images is if you double-click back on an image, you'll see there's an area for alternate text, a caption, and linking. Alternate text is where you can add in text that's behind the scenes of an image. So for example, if you look up here when I mouse over our Save button, you'll see the little word Save appear, or in this case, bold. That's called what alternate text is. So that way, users won't see it until they mouse over it, But the web crawlers that are coming through your website, that's what they actually see instead of an image, because the crawler does not see an image or doesn't know what's on that image. It's just looking at any code assigned to that image. So this could help for SEO purposes. So you could put in like, barbecue sandwich if that was so much, what your industry or what you are doing. Caption is if you want to add text that appears below your image, but it's not actually part of the text of the site. So for example, I'm going to put in a smoked pulled pork sandwich. And down in here, you can add a link as well. A link is if you want to have the image become a link to another web page, a document, or another website. So for example, I just wanted to go to our SiteBrandBuilder site. And then you have the option of linking in a new window. So again, if you want it to open within your own website, just leave it selected at no, or if you're going to go off-site or to a document, say a menu or schematics or something, you click on yes to open in a new window. I'm going to save our work. And then you won't see the caption on the builder end or the link and stuff like that. You have to go into live mode. So if I go into live mode now, you'll see there it pulls in the caption that I've put in. And then if I mouse over this, you'll now see it becomes a link to the SiteBrandBuilder webpage. So that's a kind of a brief overview on how to add images